Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great day today. So, today we're going to be talking about the TOEFL, also known as the Test of English as a Foreign Language. It's a standardized test that's widely used by universities just to test your overall language skills of international students or non native English speakers. So, today it's my hope that with these tips and tricks, you're able to receive a high score for the structure and language part of this assessment. Some things that we will go over today, or just our goals for today. We want to be able to understand the four-part essay structure. We want to learn transition phrases that we could use for coherence and clarity. And we want to be able to visualize some model examples for 24/30 plus scores. And at the end, please make sure you stay tuned because I have a freebie for you that you can use for extra practice. So let's look at the overall essay structure. You usually have your intro, your body paragraphs, and your conclusion. In your introduction, this is where you're introducing the topic that you'll be writing about. You'll also want to briefly talk about your reasonings for choosing this topic, just very briefly, because in the body paragraphs is where you'll go into more depth about why you chose the topic that you did. In your body paragraphs, this is where you're going to go into more depth. This is where you're going to use those transitional words to really connect and make sure that your ideas flow seamlessly together. The body paragraphs is where you're going to provide reasoning and explanation for whatever your argument is. And the conclusion is where you're going to kind of just wrap it up, tie it up nicely with a bow. You're going to restate your main topic addressed in the body paragraphs, and really great conclusion paragraphs always have a clarifying statement that ties everything together nice and perfectly. How to craft a strong introduction. There's 3 steps for it. Well, 2 steps actually, and then I have an example for you. So the first step is just to paraphrase your prompt. Um, just paraphrase it, use different words. Paraphrase really means to shorten it. So, whatever your general idea is, you may want to write all of it out so you can get a clear idea, but then you want to shorten it. Step 2, you want to clearly state your position, including 2 supporting reasons. So wherever you stand, whether ice cream is better than water ice is better than ice cream, you want to firmly state whatever it is that readers are going to learn about or become knowledgeable about in your paper, and you're going to include your supportive reasons for that. You want to do this very briefly because, again, you will go into more depth in the actual body paragraphs. So here's an example. I said, while some claim that popcorn is the best movie snack, I believe nachos are because they're versatile and filling. Okay, so that's my introduction. Of course, I would probably add a little bit more to that, but this is a general good starting point for you. So a lot of people are claiming popcorn is the best movie snack. So I am showing some type of thought to the counter argument, which all good arguments do. They don't ignore the other side to an argument. I already said, hey, I know other people may enjoy popcorn. However, I believe that nachos are the best because they are versatile. That's my first reason. And they are filling. That's my second reason. And so when I get to those body paragraphs, the versatility and how filling nachos are will be kind of like the bones and the body of those 2 paragraphs. Moving on to building coherent or clear body paragraphs. So you want to make sure that each body paragraph includes a topic sentence. Um, so in my example that I chose about nachos being more filling, maybe if I'm talking about nachos being more filling, I would say nachos are a very filling movie snack option. Support. Why are nachos filling? Well, you could put unlimited toppings on them, right? You could put your favorite toppings on them, and there's more food that you could put onto nachos or include in a nacho dish versus popcorn, which is just popcorn. And then I want to link back to my thesis, link back to my belief that nachos is the superior movie snack. Um, Here is a great time to use some transitional phrases. You'll find that when you're writing, the transitional phrases help for you to move through each idea seamlessly. So just some transitional phrases to get you started are firstly, for instance, therefore, moreover. You're going to do this 2 times. So you're going to do it once, and then you're going to do it again for your 2 body paragraphs, following the same format. Now we're going to write a powerful conclusion. And so, how do we do that? You're going to make sure that you restate your thesis using new words, right? We do want to keep repeating ourselves, but not explicitly. We want to find new ways to say the same thing to keep our reader hooked and interested and to really drive our point home. If you just keep saying the same thing over and over again, nachos are good, nachos are good, nachos are good, they're going to be like, okay, I get it. What else do you have to say? So try to restate whatever your belief is using new words. An easy way to do this is just to swap out adjectives or for synonyms. So if I say nachos are filling, I might say nachos are satisfying. If I said nachos are versatile, I would say nachos are unique. Okay, so I'm saying the same thing, but I'm just using different words. You want to also make sure that you summarize your 2 reasons briefly. Remember, we just spent 2 body paragraphs talking about our 2 reasons. So there's no need for us to get to our conclusion and still drum it home. If they want to have some more reasoning or remind themselves of why nachos are so great, they can go back and reread those body paragraphs. We're going to summarize our 2 reasons very briefly, very short. And then again, like I said in the beginning, all powerful conclusions do this. They give a closing thought. So as you're writing, a thought will come to you that kind of ties it all together. It's just going to be one sentence. Write that down. That's your clarifying or your closing thought. So quickly, here are some do's and don'ts for your 4-part essay structure. You want to make sure that you do use clear, formal academic language. You want to make sure that you are including transitional words. You want to make sure that you use a precise academic verbiage or verbs. You want to make sure that you have varying sentence structures. So don't make all of your sentences 5 words with a period. Try to break it up by using compound sentences. Use sentences with semicolons or em dashes. Try to have some variation in your sentence so that the reader doesn't get bored. And you want to make sure that your arguments have very specific examples. That makes it stronger. The more specific, the better. So things that you do not want to do. You don't want to use contradictions or slang. Okay. So wherever you have a don't or a can't or a shouldn't, it's always best to just write out the full word. Do not, cannot, should not. And of course, no slang, no gonna or anything like that. Keep it very professional, very academic. Try to avoid generic phrases. You want to be very specific and intentional with what you're saying. Again, you are choosing an argument and you're trying to get someone to believe in your argument. You want to stay away from the extreme use of just extremities or emotional language by saying nachos are the very best food in the world. Okay, that's clearly very opinionated. You want to try to keep emotions out of an argument and just try to keep it logically sound. And then you want to not write in the first person unless the prompt explicitly tells you to. So first person is wherever you see an I. We don't want to see I's in academic writing unless the prompt says that that is okay to do so. Okay? So hopefully you enjoyed this mini lesson on scoring high for your language part of your TOEFL writing task. If you want more, you could practice now and download my free 24 high scoring TOEFL prompts PDF in this description below. It'll be linked there. Also, make sure you just subscribe to this channel for weekly mini lessons on all types of assessments and also just general English success. All right, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.